Hi. Hi, Sagittarius. How are you? I hope you are doing well. So I don't really know what to say. Yes I do. Thank you for watching me and supporting me and loving me, and thank you for being here. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. I really truly appreciate you coming here and spending time with me and enjoying this moment with me. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much for just supporting me always, and returning and sharing your experiences with me and just being here. Really, honestly, I'm so grateful. So thanks. So Sagittarius, we're going to be talking about what you should be expecting for the week of July 8th. Let me think. This is going to apply to Sagittarius Sun, Moon, and Rising, Sidereal, and Tropical, so check both to see if you have any of those placements in either chart. Thank you so much for liking and sharing and subscribing and commenting. I'm so grateful, and I ask you to continue doing so. I'd love to hear your feedback and, just hearing your experiences and all of that. So thank you so much. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at Sinfulpluto.com. Make sure to read the listing descriptions of each listing so that you know what you're getting yourself into, and so that you have an idea of what's going on, okay? Oh, I need to look not pale. I already look pale as it is. Let me think. What else do I have to say to you? Oh, if you want to find me on social media, you can do so at Sinfulpluto on Twitter and Instagram. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. I'm like a little bit scattered with you. Are you feeling very scattered, Sagittarius? Because that's how I'm feeling right now. And with my Scorpio video, or the last videos, I was feeling like, okay, so what's going on? Okay, Sagittarius, what's in store for you the week of July 8th? What's in store? All right. 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands came out. So you're feeling burdened, right? You have a lot of things on your plate. You have a lot of responsibilities. However, I have to ask you. Let me fix that. I have to ask you, Sagittarius, how much of these burdens or obligations are you carrying that are actually yours? How much of this is stuff that you actually have to do, and how much of it is stuff that you have just picked up from other people and offering them your help, even though you are already weighed down as it is, right? There's a lot on your plate right now, and I feel that even though you were trying to keep a very optimistic perspective, because you like to be happy-go-lucky or whatever, and act like everything is okay, when in reality everything is like dark on the inside, because you just don't like to talk about it, and that's why you just say all of these really random dark jokes, and you're just laughing about it, and then everyone's just staring at you like, what the hell is going on? Are you good? So that's what's going on. And so it seems that there is a heavy burden, and I feel that you may have, like I said, you've taken on a little bit more than you can handle, and because of that, you have lost sight of what you truly want to do. You have lost sight of your initial goals, maybe because you have been just helping other people, or because you've just been trying to do there are little things that you've been doing and picking up on and, getting distracted over. And because of that, you're taking up all of these little things, and they're building up to the point where you have lost sight of your path. You have lost sight of anything. And I feel like you're kind of unwilling to accept any help, or you're just not seeing the help that is being offered to you. Because you're just so focused on all of these little things and getting all of these little things done. And now you have kind of just buried yourself. Not buried yourself, but you've dug yourself like a grave. In a way. That's really dark. I'm so sorry. But you've taken on more than you can handle, essentially, right? And so we have a 7 of Cups. So confusion, illusion. Maybe you were under the illusion that you could do all of this. Maybe you're under the illusion that you can, that you can handle everything, right? You're ruled by Jupiter. You're very expansive. It almost feels that, let's be real. I'm sorry, but you guys do have a little bit of a God complex. So I'm not saying that to be me, but it's true. So it seems to me that you really thought that you could handle everything. You were like, oh, this is a piece of cake. Like, I'm good. I can do this. And now here you are, um, barely, your head is barely over the water. And so that's kind of what it seems like to me with the Seven of Cups. And so now with the Seven of Cups as well, there is a sense of confusion here. There is a sense of, I don't know what to do. How do I handle the situation? Kind of overthinking everything. And maybe it even seems like with the Seven of Cups where you had a bunch of options and maybe that's why you overwhelmed yourself so much, is like you wanted a piece of every pie. And because of that, everything has built up. And you were kind of thinking, well, it almost kind of seems like a commitment issue with you where you don't want to completely commit yourself to one thing, but in doing that, you spread yourself too thin. And now here you are carrying a lot at once, feeling like the world is against you, feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and you're like, damn, like, I really don't know what to do, man. Like, I'm really not God. Holy shit, that's crazy. Like, wow, I really am human. What? That's crazy. And so that's what it seems like for you, Sagittarius, where you really convince yourself that you can just take on the world. And you can't. And some of you may have done it a little bit impulsively, because I do have the Eight of Wands here. I think that some of you may have taken action a little bit too quickly. You may have said yes a little bit too quickly. I feel like even for some of you, it could have been that you were surrounded by too many yes men. And that's probably how you got in this mess in the first place. Because, your friends or your colleagues or whoever were like, yeah, man, you can do this. You can do this. You're fine, And you the fuck? Sorry, Okay. Sorry. Because all of these people were saying, yes, 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 you can do anything. You are, they were really convincing you that you were God, that you're an idol. And so it got you into this mess. So it could be that you just have too many yes men here. And because of that, there is a little bit of a rift. Lovers reverse. There could be a breakup, or there could be some sort of break or a relationship being tarnished. I'm hearing tarnished for some reason, which is so weird, because I literally never say that word. Because of the stuff going on here, it could be that there's a rift in a relationship because of how overwhelmed you are, or it could be that I honestly feel that some of you could really revert to blaming this other person for saying yes to you. So if you're like blaming the yes man, I mean, yeah, I guess, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's your responsibility, man. It's your choice. You did that to yourself, buddy. You can't blame them for that. So it does feel that, for some of you, it does feel as though you're pointing the finger at the wrong person. This week, which in this case, I really suggest that you reflect and introspect on what's going on and take responsibility for yourself. But for others, with the Lovers reverse, this can signify that you made the wrong choice. Like, you for sure made the wrong choice. You made the choice that felt a lot more pleasing and instantly gratifying, rather than the choice that was a lot wiser and was a lot more gratifying in the long run. Does that make sense to you? So it does seem to me that you made that impulsive decision. You made the choice that felt better, that felt good in that time, and now here you are in this mess. And then we have the Four of Wands reversed. So I do see, there definitely is, I think, an issue that comes up with your relationships. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It can be any sort of relationship, whether it's with your boss, with family. It could be a partner, a romantic partner, a friend, coworker, colleague, whatever. There is a lack of stability here, the lack of stability in relationships. I could also see this as, because of the fact that you have lost vision of everything else, and because you're so focused on carrying this load and really feeling overwhelmed because now you feel that you have to get this done, and now you feel that you really have to prove to yourself and to others that you can do this so that you don't look like a fool. By doing that, you kind of inadvertently lose focus of your relationships, whatever sort of relationships this is. And so there's a lack of stability there, and it almost feels that, I don't want to necessarily say that you're ignoring them, but you're losing sight of them. Like, it's no longer a priority of yours, and that becomes another weight on you that you have to deal with one way or another. Does that kind of make sense? And so that's kind of really a thing that I'm seeing with you, Sagittarius, is like, due to this impulsive decision and being so caught up in the wishful thinking and honestly kind of the illusion and the delusion that you're able to get everything done and that you can, have each piece of the pie, you end up in a messy situation where relationships could be in a bit of a downfall, or there's a rift in your relationships because of this impulsive decision, because of the fact that you made the choice that felt good to you in that time. And that's kind of the consequence because of that. Due to that poor choice, the consequences is that, you could be distancing yourself from other people, not intentionally, but because you're just so focused on other stuff, or they could be distancing themselves from you, or they could just kick you out of their life, period. So that's a little bit of an issue. I have the Seven of Swords reversed, which tells me, like, reality is definitely going to be hitting you this week. Like, reality is really going to kick your butt. And the illusion will begin to shatter, and then you'll see how deep in it you are. And you're going to have to really come up with a plan to like lighten the load or to get to man, some of you might really need to ask for help from someone, because I think that a lot of you will think that you'll be able to get through it on your own, but if anything, that'll just make things worse. So this to me is a thing where you kind of have to set aside your pride so that you don't end up dropping everything and making yourself look like a fool, honestly. And you definitely have to bring yourself back down to earth and realize that, you're only human and you can't literally do anything. And like, for those of you that are saying, well, challenge accepted, no, don't do that. You'll regret it. Yeah, no, I really don't suggest it. I really do feel that there's a balance that has to be found with you here. So just keep that in mind, Sagittarius, okay? Don't take on more than you can handle and then just make yourself look like a fool trying to prove yourself to other people. All right? So I'm going to pull some cards for my Spirit Animal Oracle, and then we'll be done with you, okay? Oh, you could be dealing with a Gemini. I don't know if I already said that, but with the Lover's card, you could be dealing with a Gemini. I feel like with the Seven of Cups and the Lover's reverse, that kind of tells me like you really didn't focus on the details of it all. You were really like in your Sagittarius bag where you were focusing on the big picture because that's what you normally do. You don't want to focus on the detail. But with a Gemini here, it's like, yo, like you really didn't focus on the details. You really didn't focus on the details. I mean, Seven of Cups, you were really following this illusion that you were being sold a fantasy and you took it. And because of that, that led to consequences. So I feel that if there's a Gemini in your life right now, you probably talk to them and get yourself sorted out, because they focus more on detail. While you focus on the big picture, they focus on the details that you don't want to focus on. So it could be that you need to be focusing on details right now, and if there's not a Gemini in your life, find one. Talk to one. Talk to a Gemini this week. And I feel that you'll be able to handle the situation a lot better. And they'll ask you the questions that you don't want to answer yourself or that you don't want to acknowledge. All right, Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to hear this week based on this spread? What does Sagittarius need to know this week? What message does Sagittarius need to hear at this time? Whoa, okay, got two. All right. Bottom of the deck. Turn knowledge into wisdom. Yeah. This is literally, okay, knowledge is Gemini, wisdom is Sagittarius. Or, yeah, because Gemini is all like about knowledge, having a bunch of, kind of honest, like low-key, useless information. Like the information that you know for trivia. And then Sagittarius is like very philosophical and all of that. So definitely work with a Gemini so that you can turn, everything that you know into the deep philosophical stuff that you do. All right, so we have there is always enough, koi fish, and then groundhog, time to let go. So this really tells me that like you were definitely sold a fantasy. You were definitely sold a fantasy either by another person or you convinced yourself that you could live this some sort of fantasy world and reality is hitting and knocking on your door telling you, hey, hello, no, you can't. And so this is kind of, honestly, it really does feel that, especially with the 10 of Wands and the 7 of Cups, like, it really does feel greedy. For some of you, it does feel greedy, and it does feel that it's almost like you couldn't have enough. For some of you, if this is like a money thing, it almost feels that you didn't have enough money, or there was something that you felt that you didn't have enough of, and so you tried to have like an abundance of it, and you ended up being very overwhelmed. And I mean, with the 7 of Cups, this is usually something that's like temporarily satisfying. And it seems that you didn't even want to make a choice. You didn't want to make a solid one decision. You wanted to have all of the cups. You wanted to have everything. You wanted all of it. And by doing that, there was that greed. This really just, I keep like whenever this comes up, this really reminds me of the movie Third Frontier. It's on Netflix with Ben Affleck. I'm disappointed by that movie, honestly. But there was this whole like message about, well, not like message. I don't want to say it was a message. But what I noticed is that people, like the guys in there, were becoming very greedy, and they really sold themselves as fantasy, and it ended up biting themselves. They ended up biting themselves in the ass. So this to me just says like humble yourself. Definitely humble yourself this week, because this fantasy that you have here is not realistic. It's not attainable, and you will only end up overwhelming yourself and end up feeling like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. So just realize that you have more than enough. There is always enough, not only to share, but for yourself. There is always enough for you to have, and you don't need to have everything. And I feel like it's important to learn restriction and to learn limitation. It's learn to follow after Capricorn, okay? To listen to Saturn sometimes, and not to listen to just to your Jupiter and Jupiterian indulgences. And then the groundhog spirit, time to let go. I really do feel that you have to let go of this fantasy, because the longer you cling on to it, the more you'll kind of just end up in deep shit. Yeah. Let go of, trying to have everything. Let go of all of the unnecessary energy. Let go of this fantasy and just keep what you have. Like, keep what you already need. Keep what you already have. And you'll find that, there are other ways to be abundant, and you don't have to have every single thing. You don't need everything. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I really hope it resonates with you. Good luck, man. Seriously, good luck. Let me know if this resonates with you in the comments down below. And yeah, I love you. I will see you soon, okay? Bye.